Welcome to ETN Community Spotlight, where we shine the light on a local nonprofit organization. I'm Derrick Silas. Join me as we talk to today's special guest. Patrick, tell me about the history, mission, and purpose of Catholic Charities, Western Oklahoma.
Thank you, Derrick. Catholic Charities of the Archdiocese of Oklahoma City was founded in 1912, so we've been around about 104 years, serving across 46 counties of central and western Oklahoma. We began as an orphanage, and over the time, the series of services evolved to meet the needs of the community in the present day. So at the moment, we serve 16 different social service programs across 46 counties. We served 13,000 Oklahomans last year, more than 81% of whom earn less than $15,000 a year. And that's a horrific number, but we're delighted that if there is such a horrific number, Catholic Charities can be present to those in need in that way. We also serve through 5 regional locations, Clinton, Guyman, Ardmore, Lawton, and right here in Enid. And so we're happy to share about the mission of Catholic Charities generally and the mission of Catholic Charities that we serve here in the region area, in the Enid region. Okay.
So what is your role in the organization?
I'm the Executive Director. It's my privilege to lead a team of 85 people. Not everyone at Catholic Charities is Catholic. About 5 positions are required to be Catholics, but we have Baptist, Presbyterian, Methodist, Muslim, all on the staff, because the mission of Catholic Charities is to serve in the Catholic tradition of service, to give help and hope to all. And so you don't have to be Catholic to receive services, and you don't have to be Catholic to work at Catholic Charities, but you do need to embrace the mission, and that generally is not a mission that divides any of the denominations.
Okay. Now, I was looking at the website, and I saw that Catholic Charities has so many services to better individuals and family in the communities. Can you give me a brief overview of these programs? I saw some like adoption and pregnancy, homeless, disaster relief counseling, holistic health, legislative advocacy, and refugee resettlement, and all those. Can you give me a few brief overviews of those?
I'd be delighted to. Our youngest client is not yet born in our crisis pregnancy services. Our oldest client is 95 in our senior housing projects, and we don't do everything along life spectrum, but we serve a little bit along the way of life's journey. Our crisis pregnancy services is through the parishes across all communities. It reaches out to women that are in crisis. Sometimes the crisis is the pregnancy. Sometimes they happen to be pregnant in a crisis. We'll address it in either case, and we help that woman make a decision to parent the child, and if she does not wish to parent the child, we also offer adoption services. And we had 5 beautiful placements this past year, and it's a majestic to see this take place from what came to be started out as a crisis to see such great goodness. We do immigration legal services. We don't determine anyone's legal status, and the church doesn't stand for illegality, but we do stand with the immigrant. So we help individuals navigate the very complex laws surrounding immigration and help them navigate a way if there is a lawful remedy. So we just engage with lawful authorities so that their situation can be determined. We are the state's local resettlement agency for the western half of Oklahoma. About 190 to 220 refugees are brought in from horrific conditions around the world in any given year. And we help them acculturate to our community, go through public health screening, get them situated in a house, an apartment. We help them learn English if their skills aren't up to par. We help them land their first job, and we watch them launch into great success. In fact, we say that when we do that job well, and we do, it is literally the face of the Statue of Liberty smiling. It's a great program. We'd love to talk to you more about that. We serve a homeless community in a number of locations. First in homelessness prevention, and that's rent and utility assistance and so forth. It's far cheaper to keep somebody from becoming homeless than it is to get them back into a house once they become homeless. So we work on the front end of that problem through our Family Hope program, which is help, organize, prioritize, empower, or our rent and utility assistance. It's not just about writing a check for rent and utility assistance. It's about connecting them to the services they need to avoid the problems in the future. If they are homeless, then we have sanctuary women's development centers in in Oklahoma City and in Norman that serve women and women with children that are street homeless, couch homeless, whatever it might be, to access services so that they can get out of those conditions. Not less than 10 a month from our Oklahoma City location and 5 a month from our Norman location find their way to permanent housing from the conditions that brought them to us. And we don't count that successful until they've been there for 6 months or longer. And then our Midwest city, we have a Holy Family Home that offers transitional living for women and women with children facing homelessness. And they can stay there for up to 2 years. The average stay is about 6 months. And that's a place where they can reboot. And most of the single women we thought would be just out of high school, they're my age or higher. And so they're 55, and they thought that they never had any idea that they'd be needing these services at this point in their life, but they had a death in the family, they lost a job, they lost a husband, got divorced, whatever it might be, they got to restart and re-enter the workforce, and so we have a place for them. And then we have young mothers with children. In fact, we just had a baby last week that was born through Holy Family Home. So we have multi-generational living. Again, a great place for them to reboot, regain their footing, and launch off to great success going beyond. We do disaster response, so the 2013 tornadoes in partnership with Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, United Methodist Church of Oklahoma, Church of the Harvest, Catholic Charities, and Red Cross. We served more than 4,000 families affected by the storms in 2013, and we're postured to serve those that were affected by the 2015 floods in partnership with other agencies in town that and across the state that would assist those individuals affected. And we also work to assist folks before the storm hits, to be resilient before the storm hits so they know what they can do as individuals and then as a community to respond to those things. We also did a very unique thing called a Very Giving Christmas, and we do it differently in each community in which we operate, but many times there's an angel tree at Christmas where a list of gifts is on the tree, and somebody goes out, a very kind person, picks up the gifts, wraps them up, and delivers them to the family in need. But the family in need is not able to participate in that process because they just get the wrapped gifts. So we changed our program a little bit that the individuals would donate an hour of time per child so that they were participants in the gifts that ended up in their tree. And we don't need them to mow Catholic Charities grass or wash Catholic Charities windows. We want it to be family strengthening, community strengthening, school strengthening. So wherever those children are, in daycare, in the public school, private school, wherever they are, they donate an hour to their school activities, after school activities, whatever, so that they participated in the gifting that's under the tree, which then affirms the role that they play as parent in ways that maybe the angel tree traditionally does not. We're delighted to be in this community involved with counseling services as well. We do that free of charge for those that come to us. It's not forever counseling, and we don't do dual diagnoses and pain medications and psychotic drugs, but we do individual counseling, grief counseling, marital counseling, that type of stuff for children or adults. We respond when Anadarko is a community that's suffered many suicides recently, and we offered to provide counseling group or individual to the schools, to the community, and then training to prevent that. So question, persuade, refer is 1 hour training. That's free of charge. And then there's also mental health first aid for adults and mental health first aid for youth. All of those that we can provide as training to strengthen the community and not just be a service provider of snack packs and all that. And then this thing that Catholic Charities is probably most well known for is case management. And that's where we assist people who come to us to navigate to a better place. Informational poverty is the first subset of actual poverty. And we want to connect them to the resources that are available out there, and oftentimes they'll only engage them in pieces or in part or in serial. We try to connect that whole basket of services that might be available to that individual so they can launch to the next level of performance and happiness. And case management isn't being a best friend or best buddy or joking pal. It's professional assistance, and like I said earlier, it is if you're wealthy, you call them a financial manager or a life coach. If you're a gym rat, you call them a personal trainer. And if you're a politician, you call them a campaign manager. So case management just takes the gifts and talents of the individual that comes to Catholic Charities and connects them with resources and challenges them in new ways of thinking to achieve the outcomes they have for themselves. That's about as quick as I can do it.
Okay. So how do you feel that the organization has impacted the Enid community?
Well, the Enid community, first of all, is great. We love being here, and we love our partnership with the Loaves and Fishes and CDSA and the United Way, and Pam Ballard in particular is a great asset to your community. We love the fact that through the United Way there is a charity tracker organization or capability that allows all of the service providers in this area to collaborate comprehensively for the benefit of those who are served and for the benefit of those who donate to the various charities. So whether it's Salvation Army or Red Cross or whoever, they can collaborate so that collectively we're going to address the actual need, not the specific moment of need for that individual that comes to whatever agency they find themselves to. In the local area, Catholic Charities provides counseling services, rent and utility assistance, case management services, our Family Hope program, which was help organize, prioritize, and empower. We also do a Christmas giving program, just as I described earlier, and we do immigration legal services. Now, the full complement of those services is not here, but for somebody who would like to address their status with the lawful authorities, they can first go to an interview process through a webcam, so they don't have to travel to Oklahoma City to get those services. And then if there is a remedy available to them under the law, then they can continue that process, which ultimately will necessitate going to Oklahoma City, but not always. And then through this local office, we can bring to the Enid area some of the resources that we have across the state. They're not here all the time, but you can access them through our local office.
Okay. So if someone wants to contribute or contact the organization, how can they do that?
The best way electronically is www.catholiccharities.ok.org, or there's a new one that we're just putting in place. It's a lot shorter, ccaokc.org, and there's a Donate Now button. Resources are always needed, and I can assure every listener that the dollars raised locally are 100% spent locally. So this is helping your neighbors in need. The Enid region served 1,100 people from 9 different counties, all in northwestern Oklahoma. So none of the dollars that we raised here locally went down to Oklahoma City, but they were supplemented. And 87% of those dollars raised locally came from the Catholic parishes in our community serving their neighbors in need. And so we're happy to do that. But we'd be delighted for other supporters to join us. And then again, ccaokc.org. And then there are occasionally, from time to time, some volunteer opportunities. They're not huge volunteer opportunities, given the local profile of services, but from time to time there are, and we would partner with the United Way or other providers on larger events, community fairs, and that type of thing to provide those avenues to serve.
Okay. I think the things that you guys do is great, and I want to thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
For the wealth of information.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great day.